Today we're going to be reviewing 4.4 to 4.7 to help you with your test tomorrow. For number 1, tell whether the given value is a solution of the inequality. So I want you guys to write down the highlighted part, and then in the end your answer is going to be yes or no. All right, so basically what I'm doing is I am plugging in y equals -5. So instead of y minus 5, I'm going to put -5 minus 5 is greater than or equal to -4. Let's focus on the left side. Same sign or different sign? Same sign. Same sign, add and keep. What do we get? -10 is greater than or equal to -4. Guys, think about a number line, okay? So let's imagine that we've got like a 0 right here. There's +5 over here. This is -4, this is -10. Is this truthful, that -10 is greater than -4? No, that's not truthful, so no, that is not a solution. All right, for number 2, it's kind of the same idea, but instead, when we plug in x, it's going to be a -3 this time. So I've got -3 plus 2 is less than or equal to 3. Let's focus on the left side. Different signs, so we're going to subtract and take. What's -3 plus 2? -1. Is this truthful? -1 is less than or equal to +3. Is a -1 smaller than a 3? Yes, it is. So the correct answer should be yes. That is a given value, is the solution to the inequality. Just remember that little saying, plug it in, plug it in. When we do a problem like this, you are simply plugging in what it gives to you for x. For problem number 3, it asks us to write the word sentence as an inequality. The thing that's going to help a lot of you who are struggling with some of these vocab words is that blue words into math paper, okay? On that paper, you saw the word quotient. Guys, what does a quotient mean? Divide. That's the answer to a division problem. So we're going to put our fraction bar, and then it says of a number x, which will go on top, 4 will go on bottom, more than. What sign should I write? A greater than. Okay, some people are putting equal signs. It doesn't say more than or equal to. It just says more than a 5. So that's how you would write that as an inequality. For this one, it asks us to solve the inequality and then to graph it. Remember, this -4 is attached to that b, so we want to keep that there as long as possible. So the first step I'm going to do is get rid of the -9. How do I get rid of that? Add by 9 on both sides. Leaving me with, be careful, a lot of people on their quiz forgot to bring down the -4. They just brought down 4b. Remember that saying that we said, every number has a sign, and that sign is directly in front of that number. So keep the negative with it. Drop down your greater than. And what is it greater than? A 4. Now I have to get rid of that multiply by -4. How do I get rid of that? Very good. Remember, you're going to divide by the exact coefficient or number that you see there. This is where a lot of people also made mistakes. Guys, think about the even and odd rule. If there's only one negative, I have a positive divided by a negative, my answer has to be negative. So what's 4 divided by -4? -1. Was the last thing I did multiply or divide by a negative number on both sides? Yes. So what do I need to do? We have to flip the sign. A lot of people forgot to do that on their quiz. So this is how it should be. If your paper didn't look like that right now, I want you to erase it, fix it, and then go ahead and graph this for me. All right, what number goes in the center? -1. What's one smaller? -2, and one bigger. Open or close circle? And the answer says all solutions are less than -1. That means it should go to the left because that is the less than side. This one's a very similar problem to the one we just did. We want to keep the -6b together as long as possible because it's attached to the variable. I will add 6 to both sides, and I'm left with -6b is less than or equal to what number? 42. Now what do I need to do? Good job. Remember, if this is a negative 6 right here, I'm going to divide by that same exact number on both sides. I'm left with b is less than or equal to. Remember, once again, the even and odd rule. There's only one negative there, so my answer has to be negative. So the correct answer is b is less than or equal to -7. Should I flip my sign? Yes, the last thing we did was divide by a negative number on both sides, so I have to flip the sign. Once again, if your board doesn't look like mine, please erase it and fix it so that it looks correct. Let's put the numbers on here. What number goes in the center? What's one smaller? One bigger. Open or closed? That is a closed circle. How come? Because it is equal to -7. That could be a solution. All solutions are greater than, so my arrow should go to the right. Number 6 asks us to write an inequality that would represent the graph. Please remember, you must start with the x every time, okay? That means all solutions. Next, we know we'll start with the number that's in the middle, which was -97. It's open circle, and it's going to the right. So what symbol should go in there? Greater than. The correct answer is x is greater than -97. For this one, we're writing and graphing an inequality to represent the situation. Your phone takes no more than 6 hours to charge. So remember, with inequalities, we always start with the x, and then we put the number, which is 6. So if you tell me my phone doesn't take any more than 6 hours, could it take exactly 6 hours?
Yes.
It could. If it's not more than, it has to be less than, okay? And then just think of if I could plug a number in. If it doesn't take more than 6 hours, could it take 4 hours? Yes. If it doesn't take more than 6, could it take 20? No. So try to think of numbers that you could plug in to see if it makes sense or not. Then it did ask you to graph it. Listen, I'm seeing a lot of people who know this is a 6, but this is kind of what I'm starting to see for some different people. Guys, what's wrong with that? It's backwards. You don't have backwards numbers like that unless it's negative. So instead, make sure you're doing one smaller and one bigger. So be careful. I saw a lot of those little mistakes on the quiz yesterday. All solutions are less than 6, so it should be going to the left. For this problem, it says your sister invited at least 40 people to her birthday party. We're going to start with the x, then put the number. If she invited at least 40 people, could she have invited exactly 40?
Yes.
Yes. Could she have invited 10?
Yes.
If it was at least 40? No. Could she have invited 50?
Yes.
Yes. So what do you guys think? Greater than or less than?
Greater.
It should be greater than. Any number that's 40 or greater could be how many people she invited. She invited a lot of people to her party. So here we've got 39, 40, 41. Closed circle. Remember, when there's an equal sign, it's a closed circle. All solutions are greater than 40. To eat off the kids' menu at Cracker Barrel, you can be no more than 12 years old. Write and graph an inequality that represents the situation. We're always going to start with the x, then we'll put the number, which is 12. All right, so you go in there, and you are 12 years old. Would they let you eat off the kids' menu?
Yes.
So I can put an equal sign. Now let's think. It says no more than. That means not more than, which means it has to be less than. Now try to start thinking of some things. As I see, once again, people are kind of messing up with their numbers. One to the left is smaller, one to the right. It's just like a normal number line. All right, so you could be exactly 12 years old. Now it says all solutions are less than 12. Is that to the left or to the right? To the left. Think about a number that you would eventually hit going left. 11, 10, a 1-year-old, okay? Would this make sense? If a 1-year-old goes in, are they allowed to eat off the kids' menu? Yes, but look, some people, they got this the correct answer, but then they went this way. Eventually, I would end up as like a 50-year-old. Could a 50-year-old eat off the kids' menu? No. So please make sure that your answer makes sense. All right, for the final modeling real life, you make $7.50 per hour mowing lawns. You are trying to earn $165 to buy a hoverboard. Write and solve an inequality that represents the number of hours you need to work to earn enough money to buy the hoverboard, and then interpret in a sentence what your solution means. So the main thing I want you to focus on is $7.50 per hour. That means every hour you're multiplying by your variable. You can put an H, you can put an X, it does not matter. So you're trying to go out and earn some money to buy a hoverboard. How much money are you trying to earn? If you have exactly $165, will you be able to buy the hoverboard? Yes. If you have less than $165, could you get it? No, so it's not going to be a less than sign. If you had more than, would that be okay? Yes, you would have extra money to buy things like ice cream or something random, okay? How do I get that H by itself? On the quiz yesterday, I have a ton of people who are trying to add or subtract that 750. Guys, you've got to divide by 750 on both sides in order to get rid of that. The answer is what? 22 hours. Can someone explain to me what in the world does H is greater than or equal to 22 hours mean? Matthew. I like it. You must work at least 22 hours in order to buy it. Very good. Could I say, and this is what I saw in a lot of people's quizzes, you must work 22 hours. Is that true or not?
It's true.
That's not true, guys, because this does not say equals. It says greater than or equal to. Not only you could say, I must work at least, how else could I say it?
You can work more than or equal to.
I could work 22 or more hours. All right, so if you can, go back, review this video. These are basically the answers from your review sheet. And if you go over that, this is going to help you to do well on your test tomorrow.